Today was truly an opportunity for me to realize how fortunate I truly am. I started off today and, on warm-ups I ended up scraping up my leg, and that's normally not a big deal, a little blood spill here and there, as long as we're cleaning it up, no big deal, right? Well, on this very first set that you see here, I ended up tearing one of my hands. So, immediately after that, I started having a little bit of blood coming out of one of my hands, which was affecting my grip. And that wasn't the best start of the day, wasn't the best way to get my pull started for today's lifts with Smolov, and I was starting to get down on myself. I was frustrated. I had plenty of strength here, and I was feeling great about the program. I've put in the volume, I've put in the work, and now, I'm starting to feel comfortable hitting these weights. And you see here, another little mistake. The clip started coming undone, and I had to adjust right in the middle of my set. And when I regripped, I tore my other hand. Lo and behold, it just started going and ripping off a few more calluses. And I lost count of my reps on this and ended up accidentally doing, I think, 8 reps instead of 7, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but when that last rep's a grind, it takes a lot out of you to get to that next set and feel confident in it. So here you see, because of the tear on my hand, I put on a glove to try and keep more blood from getting on the bar and tearing my hand worse. Obviously bandaged it beforehand. But what started off as a day where I was feeling comfortable and coming in here with all the strength in the world was starting to fall apart one at a time. You feel like a tin man just coming apart at every single joint. And it's at that moment that I realized how fortunate I am. I had some family visiting, and my brother was coming in from Idaho, my sister and her husband coming in from Tennessee, and I'm so lucky to be in a lifting family where each one of us supports one another, and we'll give each other crap when we need it, and we'll give each other support when we need it. And this was one of those moments. I had to have them crack a few jokes and keep me going and make it fun and keep me just moving and pushing the weight forward. And it's stuff like that that drives me towards my goals. Learning that I have a community and a family about me that's going to always help me step that one step closer. And you see here, I started moving and I started having some fun and smiling, cracking jokes. I'm bleeding out of 3 points in my body, and nothing could have made this a better day. I just got to do what I love with the people I love. And I realized it's often in those times that we get down and things feel difficult that we start to appreciate all the good stuff we have going for us. I mean, beyond my blood family, my extended family here at Elite Performance Center it's meant the world to me. When I first moved here to Portland, I didn't feel like I felt so out of place. A little farm kid from Idaho. What was I doing here in Portland, Hipsterville? And I had the good fortune to discover EPC because my school gym, the University of Portland, does not allow people to deadlift. Yeah, crazy, I know, right? Well, deadlifting was always my favorite lift in high school, and there's no way I was about to go 3 years without doing a single deadlift, so I just Googled gyms that let you deadlift, and I discovered powerlifting, I discovered Chris Duffin, I discovered Elite Performance Center and everything about it, and since then, I've had the opportunity to train with some of the best coaches in the world, to make the best improvements in my lift that I ever would have, and it's taken me so far. And it started off as this horrible feeling of, oh god, I've got to give up my favorite lift and I'm never going to be able to feel strong and be strong again. I mean, where do you go from not being able to deadlift? And then I find this. It's one of those darkest hour moments and some light shines through. And it makes me realize no matter how bad it seems like it's never as bad as it seems, and everything passes, and more often than not, they'll pass for the better. I graduate. In 2 days, I graduate on Sunday, and, sometimes that comes with a little bit of uncertainty, some risk associated with some fear and doubt about what the future holds. We don't know, but, more often than not, that's going to be an exciting adventure on its own. And if we just embrace it and enjoy it for what it is, when we're going along this ride, great things, they're going to come our way if we just welcome them in. We can't live our lives saying no to every opportunity that comes up, every fear and doubt. I mean, complacency and contentment, they're sometimes what kills us the most. If we're just happy enough to let things be, then we're never going to move forward, and we're never going to realize just how happy we truly could be. So we need things, that adversity, to come forth and be the engine that fuels us forward. After deadlift, I'm trying to get a little bit more into the groove for strongman. My next contest isn't for a few months, but I want to keep that form reinforced, and so I moved into doing some overhead, no push pressing, no jerking, but just developing that power and that movement pattern. And I moved on to one of my favorite shoulder variations, clock-off presses, because it takes out a lot of my chest out of it and forces me to press in a straight line. And I actually found that this is a movement that helps with my shoulder pain tremendously. Um, just traditional pressing has caused me a lot of pain in my left pec, and I'm trying to remember the correct name, acromioclavicular joint or process, or whatever it might be. I'm not the best when it comes to anatomy, but just getting in this position and pressing smoothly, it does wonders for stretching that out and getting some development and balance. And I feel like when I'm developing the medial and the posterior delts, it just gets a little bit more roundness and keeps me developing those rounded shoulders and being too tight forward. So by doing this, I feel like it just generates a little more raw pressing power and helps me tremendously keep in line, helps with that lockout. My goal for this coming year is just not to be beaten on a single pressing event, unless it's a contest like Nationals or the Arnold or whatever the case may be, Plat Plus. But at those points, you gotta play the game and get points where you can and save your energy where you don't need to be expending it. But this is gonna be my year that I round out my weaknesses. This is coming forward. I've always been a lower body specialist, and I want to bring up that weakness, and I'm in the proper place to receive the coaching and do that. Here you see one of our finest coaches at Elite Performance Center, but finest coaches, period, in the world, Rebecca Roberts, just encouraging me to get out a few more reps. And sometimes it's that type of encouragement that's the difference between hitting 8 reps and 9 reps. And that 1 rep is the difference between being a champion and being a chump. Well, thank you once again for watching, and have a wonderful night.